I read a book recently by Steve Heaney from the Pathfinders.
Oh, yeah.
And the foreword in there from yourself was quite interesting. I mean, it was very rapid, all the action that happened. And I mean, in reading his book, he expressed quite I wouldn't say disdain from the lack of equipment, let's say, but they made do with what they had, and they did very well. It's a really interesting book. Obviously, you know of it. Was that part of the decisive battle that actually turned the tide with the RUF?
Yes, Steve's a great man. First soldier recipient of the Military Cross, which I was delighted to help write the citation for. Basically, I needed a battle with the RUF, and we were having lots of skirmishes, and we were pushing them back, but I wanted to give them a really bloody nose in order to convince them they were going to lose, and the Brits meant business. So I took a bit of a risk with Colonel Paul Gibson's entire cooperation. He put the Pathfinder platoon plus a few more odds and sods into an exposed position to the north east of the airfield, which was vital ground. It was vital ground for us because that's how we, at that stage, we were only way to bring in our logistics. Not long after we started this, the 42 Commando, an aircraft carrier, HMS, we had a plenty of what we needed. But until that time, as you hint, we were all flying, working on very light scales. So I ordered them into Lungi Lol in an exposed position, and the RUF took the bait, attacked them there, thinking that they would force them out of the way, and that's the Pathfinders, and then they'd be on the airfield, and we would have, it was sensible tactics on their part. But Steve Heaney and the Pathfinder platoon fought heroically and beat them back, inflicted a lot of casualties on them. And that was the bloody nose I needed, because after that they thought they weren't going to take us on. So it was a vital part, but it was a quite risky part of the operation, because for a while they were very pressed by the RUF, but with Steve and others doing things we all always admire, and people rise to the challenge, don't they? We were successful. But if it had gone wrong, I would have. I mean, people say you're gonna be cut off at the knees, Richards, if this stuff doesn't work. But thank God for Steve and the platoon.
I mean, it's a fascinating book. It really, really is, and I'm hoping to get him on the podcast quite soon. It just, as I was reading it, I just kept thinking of like Yul Brynner and the Magnificent Seven. It's an astonishing story. It really is.
It's well worth it, and you must try and get him on. I spent the night. I slept, I'm sure, but first thing the next morning when they pushed them back, I got in a helicopter and went to visit them. I've never been so grateful to a bunch of blokes. And he writes about that in the book, But anyway, you try and get him on. He's a great chap.